This is a review of systems of equations. So your example 1, if I have 2x minus y equals negative 1, 3x minus 2y equals 1. The easiest way to solve this would be to use the elimination by multiplication. If I multiply this equation by 2, my new equation is 4x, negative 2, and negative 2. Now if I subtract going down, I have 3 minus 4, and I get negative 1x. Negative 2 minus a negative 2 is 0. 1 minus a negative 2 is 3. I divide by negative 1, my x equals negative 3. Now I'm going to take this negative 3 and plug it back into one of the original equations. I'm just going to choose the bottom one. Plug in negative 3 for the x, minus 2y equals 1. I have negative 9 minus 2y equals 1. I add 9 to the other side. I get negative 2y equals 10. I divide by negative 2, and I get y is negative 5. So my ordered pair is negative 3, negative 5. This next example, I have 0.5x plus 0.5y equals negative 2. I have x minus 0.5y equals 6. Now the worksheet says to solve by elimination multiplication, but this x has a coefficient of 1. So I'm going to take this equation and I'm going to get x by itself. I'm going to add the 0.25 to the other side. And now I can solve by substitution. So I'm going to take all of this, since it equals x, I'm going to plug it into the top equation. I have 0.5. I'm going to replace x with what it represents. And now I have one variable to solve for. So 0.5 times 6 is 3. 0.5 times 0.25 is plus 0.125y plus 0.5y equals negative 2. These two are like terms. I get 0.625y. I'll subtract the 3 to the right hand side. 0.625y equals negative 5. And I get y equals negative 8. Now I'm going to take this y equals negative 8 and I'll plug it back into one of the original equations. The bottom one is easier. Plug in 8 for y, multiply 0.25 times 8, I get negative 2. X minus 2 equals 6. This was a negative 8, and a negative makes it positive. So I'm going to subtract 2, x equals 4. My ordered pair is 4, negative 8. Another example, I have y equals x plus 5 and 3x plus y equals 25. Now the y is already by itself, so I can take this information, x plus 5, and substitute it in for the y. And I will have one equation to solve for. I have 4x plus 5 equals 25. If I subtract 5, I get 4x equals 20. Divide by 4. X equals 5. Take the x equals 5 and plug it back into one of the original equations. Y equals x is 5. Y equals 10. So 5, 10 is my answer. Last example, if I have x equals y minus 1 and negative x plus y equals negative 1. If I take the top equation and I move the y over, I would subtract this y to the left, and then I line up the other equation. I can do elimination by adding. If I do 1x plus a negative 1x, it goes away. Negative 1 plus 1, this also goes away. Negative 1 plus a negative 1 is negative 2. This can never happen. Therefore, I have no solution. You may also have noticed that if you solve for y, so if I leave the y where it is and I add the 1 to the other side, I will have x plus 1. Same at the bottom. If I leave this y where it is and I add this x to the other side, I also have x minus 1. These two equations have the same slope. Therefore, when they have the same slope, they are parallel lines. This y-intercept is positive 1, this y-intercept is negative 1. These two lines will never cross. That's why it's no solution.